Round of applause. And then we started having these discussions. We were talking at the time we were discussing xenophobia. During my time, the first xenophobia we had in South Africa, the biggest xenophobia was in 2009.
Welcome to the Potential Leaguer podcast. My name is KG the King and I am the host of the Potential Leaguer podcast. And I must say that this is a special episode on a Saturday. Lovely weather outside. It's not hot, it's not cold, but just warm. You know what? Allow me to introduce everyone present here today because why not? This is our team, I must say. Let me start with the background team before I jump into who are the people sitting allow me to start with the one and only production team member known as Tabo, but Rena Aramita Kofi. I don't know why. Let's give a round of applause to him. Followed by well-known Jay, Arkena Jay, but Rena Aramita Jr. So we don't know who inspired the name Jay, but Jay, you're welcome after a long time, I must say. You're welcome. We take a Black J. Black J something. Yeah, Black J something. And as part of our promoters today, we do have Zaniel in the building. Arkena Mama Boy. Zaniel, welcome to. Welcome. And the one and only, our Muslim friend, I must say. Happy Ramadan, my friend. Mohammed Melusi. And I must also say that we do have Vinny in the building. I don't know if Ki Uncle Vinny or it's just Vinny now, but Vinny, you're welcome, my brother. Thank you for joining us today. And I must say in absentia that today we do not have a co-host, but we only have hosts today. Remember, and I lead the host to say two more podcasting today. But guess what? We have two hosts today. And then our other two co-hosts are absent today. But it's not a problem. The EP will go and we'll run it. I must just say that after a long time, Lena staying the so-called Cotton Weezy. Hey, host. You must tell us. You must tell us what happened. Let's give a round of applause to Cotton Weezy. No, welcome, Cotton Weezy. It's been a long time, I must say. It's been a long time. And man. Can't they? What's happening? Tell us more. You can't go. Situation. What situation? What situation?
I know I missed some of the episode, but it's only one episode.
We're not going to miss the episode without what's happening here? You've missed a lot, I must say.
Yeah, I missed a lot, Mara. Utaloga, guys.
Hopefully, because the more we miss the episode, I don't want to say this in public. No work, no pay, excuse. Other than that, allow me to introduce our guest today. The one and only, I must say. The special guest today here at the Potential Leaguer podcast. Palesa Rose. Thank you for coming, Palesa. I must say, it's a pleasure that you have accepted our invite, and I so wish that we have a fruitful episode today, and then I so wish that it becomes knowledgeable to people, to students, to everyone, our viewers, our likers and subscribers. Allow me to give you this opportunity to introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and what do you do?
Thank you very much. Nake Palesa ke Mosotho, nako ngata ke wa Sesotho. Jwale ya ke tsebe ke dumeletsehile hore ke re papa ka Sesothonyana. Ke nna Palesa Rose ba ntse ba mane TikTok le Facebook. I'm a former student go Vaal University of Technology and Sedibeng College, Sedibeng campus to be specific. I'm also a former SRC member for both institutions.
Round of applause. After if you're an SRC member, you are a big thing, man. You know, when you're on a status.
So I was a deputy president in Sedibeng College 2018 when I was studying mechanical engineering NATED. And then I later moved to Vaal University of Technology and I became a primaris of Amberfields. And I also became deputy chairperson of the EFF student command. I became primaris of Edu City. I became deputy chairperson for this area that we are in, under the Mfuleni municipality. Okay, that did not end well, but yeah. And then yes, I was also a soccer what I don't know, but there were so many. And then under the EFF, then I left the EFF. We started Paiko Hura. I think you guys heard it of Hura. When the rapper did Jutuku and we were going insane.
It's still there in VUT then?
No, we made peace and we went back to the EFF student command.
Okay. I thought it's still there. So those people were in those dukes and everything.
Yeah, no, it was lit. But now as we're speaking, I'm a qualified maths and science teacher. Okay. I'm currently employed by. Thank you. I'm currently employed by the Department of Education. I'm based in Roodepoort. I'm also a secretary of the SGP. I'm a content creator and I started a NSFAS help desk, digital help desk. I'm not an NSFAS official. I'm a qualified teacher and a content creator and a well-known student activist in South Africa.
You must say indeed. Yo, it's a lot. It's a lot. I must say, it's a lot. I so wish that later one day I could proudly say that I'm a former deputy president of Sedibeng TVET College. I've led 2 times consecutive years. But boy, initially, you have got something to add on. Host. I must mention that we need to study. We need to make sure that we leave history behind. Because how can introduction no, we are giving a lot. We are giving a lot. Guys, you should learn. I must say, the production team, you should learn. You should give Bona in trailer a massive. I must say, I used to take pictures, go drop on it. I charge about to the 10 rand. Yes. No, indeed. I think let us jump into what inspired you to become a student activist. Maybe so that we can then start from the beginning. Then
okay. I'm someone who's very vocal from a very young age. Back in the days, we used to have prefects. Back when I went to school, maybe you guys were not born. But before we had class reps, we had prefects. And academically, I'm someone who's academically gifted. People who have been in class with me, who have been my classmates, know academically, so I was always a prefect. I was always attending, going to competitions, representing my school. I used to do public speaking. And then at some point, I was a poet. I had a poem. One of my poems was, I wrote it for my first boyfriend. And I remember my favorite stanza was, I am a jail, you are a custard. And when we mix it together, they give us custard and jail. Yeah. So growing up, I used to be, I can ask Jordan Motivas.
Oh, yes,
Jordan.
Yes.
And then I was a class rep. Parafitla High School, then we were introduced to class reps. And then I left Sedibeng. I moved to Edgelberg. I grew up in an orphanage home, a story for another day. I moved to Edgelberg where I became an RCL. And we met. So now in Edgelberg, at that time, there were only 2 high schools. So our high school is under the D8 district. I don't know if you know the D8 here. Mona Limbo General, Smart, Tibo, Riverside. So we were under that district, and we used to meet every time there is a competition of public speaking, and then the one with the best speech will be chosen to become president. And I became number 3. Ke tswa ko kasi ke computer le bana ba smart ba ka ba sharp, and I became number 3, but deep down I know I was number 1. And I became the secretary
part of life after all.
Yes, I became the secretary of G8, and then we started having these discussions. We were talking at that time, we were discussing xenophobia. During my time, the first xenophobia we had in South Africa, the biggest xenophobia, was in 2009. That was also the first time we had the word xenophobia.
Was in
2009, yes. So now, after 2010, we're still discussing issues of xenophobia, and so we're engaging, and then like when a debate, and people said, no, you're so good, man. And then Kabanalu confidence here, and then I started speaking more. And when I went to college, how I joined EFF, this is what happened. Like it register more Sedibeng goes booking, and then Katsuaka 5, so I was number 10, go Q. During that time, I no fitlo saying, and then no Emma can
sleep outside.
Outside, yes, you know the story. So I was number 10 in the queue. I'm a first year student. I'm coming to register for first time again, N1. So I get number 10, bo number 7, bo number mamba, bo number fitla kaba 9, baba 14, and then I ended up being number 500. You see. So the next day, and then they cut us. They said we must come back the next day. So the next day I was so mad, and then when I came back, I said I am not going to stand in the queue. Yesterday I was number 10. Remember, this is now my second day. I was on I'm not standing there. They called Dosto. And that Dosto at the time.
Current campus
yes,
manager.
Yes. He was also my campus manager. But remember, because college, I did not know he's a campus manager. I thought he principal. So I was causing rah. I was so angry. And then he came, he said, I see, but that's how I can get a principal. Number 10, I'm not going back there. And I said, I'm not going anywhere. So I'm busy, principal, campus manager. And then but when they EFF, they were looking at me. And I said to them, I'm not going,
she's a student leader,
yes, I know, it's fine, go inside. And then as I was going inside, and then they came to me, they gave me a t-shirt and said, come and join us.
Join us, we need people.
That confidence,
and then I was now controlling the line. Again, I'm number 1, but now I'm controlling the line. I said, you're number 2, you're number 3. If you bring someone here, you're going out, So now I was controlling line, mechanical engineering. Then we registered record. So this site no do electrical. So bashainyana wabon. Bagduale na mama wa khona take re tlola go fatla batho mo. So now I'm now controlling 2 lines. I go inside, I register. When I come out now, it's time for me to leave. And then people are calling me. Hey, they used to call me Vetes. I was fixing line coffee. So people thought I'm in SRC member. Remember now I'm wearing EFF t-shirt. They just gave me now. I'm fixing the line. I'm in charge. Like I'm in charge. I'm fearing no one. And then the next day when I came back, everyone was calling me leadership, and I became leadership.
I think they saw radicalism.
Yeah.
What we call radicalism. They was like, no man, when this radicalism is what we need in this student command of us.
Yes, ma. But I think Luana never would be number 10, and then you end up being number 500. Then tomorrow you come back, and then the next day when I came, I didn't wake up early because they don't know me. I know they're going to know me beautiful.
They will learn me.
Yeah.
No, I must say it's an inspiring story. We are still to dig deeper. We are still to dig deeper. Stay tuned, I must say. Let's jump into. When did you realize that education would be your main focus?
Okay.
Or is it not maybe your main focus? Part of that, it might be that you would want to add on that. But when did you realize that education would be your main focus?
Oh, I have to, I think I have disclosed already. I'm someone who's academically gifted.
Okay.
And then during my time, I did everything. I know VUT student can attest to this. Everyone who went to school with me, they know. At some point, I studied heavy earth moving machinery under Harambe, and then I was being funded by Vaal. And we used to build heavy earth moving machinery with our own hands. And then I would do presentation, and we used to have hosts from America and I would be the one presenting, and they used to call me to the side and say, you are going places, you are going. So, and then I played ladies soccer. I was a goalkeeper. That did not end well. And then I used to dance on Amber Fields. I had my own dancing team. I have my videos on TikTok. I feel as 16 we used to do Sarafina and dance. I used to act. Like I've tried everything. I'm someone. Yes, I've tried. I've even sang. There was when I was growing up. And then at some point I did a beauty contest. I didn't know how to contest. I cried. So in short, I'm saying I tried everything. And then I realized, Dorina, I'm academically gifted. Let me focus on education. That's why.
So what did you learn from, what lesson did the leadership teach you?
Okay.
There's this SRC, then there's leadership.
Yes.
What leadership lessons did you learn from SRC?
Okay. I learned that if you are, as members of SRC, remember when you are SRC members, before you are SRC members, you belong to a student political party. You belong to FF, you belong to SASCO, and then during elections we are fighting each other, we insulting. In VUT, it used to be messy, and I was the main contributing factor. Go Facebook, and then now once you are in the SRC, now you need to reach common grounds. You need to be able to, I need to be able, as if you are a member of SASCO and I'm a member of EFF, once we are addressing student issues, you are no longer SASCO, I'm no longer EFF. Indeed. We are supposed to be one. So it usually takes us time to reach common sense. Usually we take time to a point where and we waste so much time. If bana ba skolo ba urwaka o le sa skolo SRC ke athaba deep down finally bana ba skolo ba mo bona useless, but then towards the end of the term ha se re sebisana more kana ke bona hore man motho ona na ke amhloka. So what I learned go SRC, the lessons that I learned in the SRC that I still apply up to this day, from the very onset, learn to work with those around you, no matter the differences.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes.
Can I just jump in there? I know I'm a host here, but how touch I must say indeed, leading into SRC, being a leadership, being a student leadership, and there's this thing people are now abusing the fact of being SRC. Like the interest of being an SRC rather than being the so-called celebrities. I don't know what is behind. I just don't know what is it behind this thing. How people want fame behind SRC. I know for sure when I walk around here, people will be like, if it was not because of you in 2021, I wouldn't be in school, my NSFAS wouldn't be okay by this time. But I must say that some of the current SRCs all they need is fame, and I think it's one thing being in SRC, it's not about fame. Yes, we know you'll be well known, but it's a matter of making sure that what you are in there, you do it. Because when you want to be called the president or the deputy president, I remember there was a time when I flew to Cape Town, reasons was I needed to try and solve Tabataf NSFAS because hopefully headquarters and NSFAS is in Cape Town. So I flew there. I think that's part of the reason why I made a lot of students unrecognized. But part of that is that let me just backdate a little bit. In 2022, when I arrived at Sedibeng, I immediately joined a student command, right? So when I joined it, it came to a push that let's strike, a protest, I must say. So the protest, we then started more campusing around, and then we moved to VUT. So when we got to VUT, it happened that shootings and rubber bullets. The radicalism that I had it even showed on the newspapers the Sedibeng there. I was like, hey, the Sedibeng there, and I got a call from my father, Ramona. You're not a VUT student. Stay away from fighting stay away from going to VUT and fight. You're not a VUT student. So all one school on house. So I'm like,
can I add to that? I think I remember. So this what happens go VUT. Ha ne striker. Suspended. So we used to call our comrades Bako Sedibeng. Remember one thing I love about EFF Student Command. As long as I remember of EFF Student Command, you are family. Even so, we would see comrades of Sedibeng, Nimza, and then they will go in a forefront. They will be singing and chanting, going crazy. Now we are at the back, throwing stones. Yeah. And then, it
was difficult to a point that it came to a push the last time I protesting a VT. I ran to the direction. There's a river. Did you know there's a small river? Was at their point 1.2 because the guys' bodies. About tight securities of VUT were coming after us, getting rubber bullets. So we ran to a point of inside the river, hide there, ran towards the Robert Zuccaria Stadium. But the thing is, because I was the one addressing them at the time, I remember Nikina met staff and taking a mantla. Hey, Kandema security land said immediately someone threw a stone to the front. That's where chaos started. Everyone ran. I'm like, hey, it's nice though, but
no, it was
risky.
nice. Yeah, it's
risky. You might lose your life.
The adrenaline.
But one
of the best.
Let me add something. I see nowadays political man. They argue on the fight. So you know what's about it. Because now they are fighting.
Not during my time, especially during my era, it was one of the best and the worst. When we started Hura, go VUT, the most trending people go VUT, it was Ntako. People used to say we are Ntako, Ntako is us. And then the others were saying we are Palesa, Palesa, it is us. So now one thing about me is that I'm clean. I don't have any skeletons. My personal life is my personal life. No one knows my personal business. And then, like I said, academically, I'm doing well. And then when it comes to assisting students, I was a ground force, an SRC member, a public figure at the same time. I worked for my position. I was not handed over. So if we were fighting and exchanging words, now whatever I say, I had evidence. So we were always insulting each other. It got so bad. I remember Ntako went to police station to open a case for us. Where some people posted me, and then some other, I can't never post anonymous. They posted me, and then they said I'm sleeping with the lecturer. So students who know me, they would comment and say, it means you don't know Palesa. That's the one. We used to fight like that, but we were only fighting during elections.
Yeah, it's part of politics.
And only online. We're fighting online. When we meet on social media.
Yeah, but when you meet me face to face, you want to be hello, leadership, how are you? The very same person who makes sure that what's like bed when he meets you or when she meets you.
And let me tell you, even though it might look bad to other people, that momentum is very important for elections. You see, when we are busy fighting on social media, remember, students most of the time nowadays, they do everything inside their rooms. If they are hungry, they order online. They don't want to leave. They don't want to go outside. So even if you can come and stand outside to say, I'm Palesa Rose, I want to campaign, they will never go outside. So it's better for you to campaign on social media. So as we were fighting each other, students will come and then wait, what are you guys fighting for? No, they start following up the stories. And when they follow up the stories, they end up knowing you. So this is good for you. This is also good for the elections. So now everyone knows, Palesa is Hura. Palesa, they used to call us miscarriage of EFF student command. Palesa is fighting Ntako. Yes, it's fighting Ntako because in Ntako they miscarried. So they know. So when it's time to vote, they know exactly who's voting for. You have released file.
They were using big words, these people.
Yes,
political what?
Yeah, they used to call us. But that momentum is very important. Now, if they're having a registration, if they say elections are next month, because usually VUT, they release data the elections a month before. The first thing I do now, I go Facebook. I'm expecting to see chaos and then when I don't see anything, I won't be feeling elections. Even if I see if they introduce this SRC members, I'm like,
Can I just jump in? Don't you think nowadays it's because they have big races and a lot of races? Like I've seen now that nowadays what they do is to just make sure that their own political parties give them resources to a level that they can just go there with big cars, big trucks with sounds on, get their campaign, distribute what they need to distribute. I think part of being lesser on social media is that now they've resorted into a different form of campaigning.
No, we have always been, even with us, we were doing that.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm saying, only students are today. Even if they will never go outside. So you must be on the ground and on social media. You win elections with everything. That's what you used to say. If you know Kazati, Bamobita Ikwe, Kazati Ngoi is very powerful. He was a member of EFF Student Command. I think a former deputy president is an international student. And he used to say, comrades, you win elections with everything. Those who can look good will look good. Those who can speak well will speak well. One thing about me, I never cared about looking good. Now my weapon has always been information. So you must be on the crowd, you must be on social media, you must be everywhere. You cannot say you are an SRC member or a comrade and in your own course the lecturer is abusing you. You know lecturers are refusing with reassessment.
Don't even enter class in Garigalia. You know,
you understand?
It can come to a push of such extent.
You are being bullied.
Yeah, being bullied, but you call yourself an
SRC member. You call yourself a ground force. You
can't even defend students in a class.
You can't even raise your hand and say.
But what you're doing is wrong. If a class has to stop, let it stop.
Exactly. You know, I remember VUT, how I became known VUT. I was first known amongst the BET student. Remember VUT, BET student, we have our own campus.
Can I get
so what happened is that I attended an electrical class. Remember, before I came to VUT, I was in Sedibeng. So mechanics, we have two modules, but it's identical. Electrical. So if you're doing mechanics, automatically you do science, electrical science. Yes. So I know electrical. So when I got first day go VUT lecture in explain, and what he was explaining, I was disagreeing with it. People were sleeping, people were bored. I raised my hand and I said, "Sir, I disagree with you." And then Sir said, "Do you think I'm wrong?" I said, "Sir, yes, you are wrong." And then people woke up. And I gave my reasons why I'm saying he's wrong. So after that class, they were choosing class reps and they chose me. They said, so they didn't know my name. They said, I'm because I have long hair. Yeah, I'm very much available. I'm available. And I became again.
Yeah, no. I must say, it's a fruitful recording, I must say, indeed. But part of that is that I've realized that some of the questions that you wanted to touch on, since Palesa, I've already responded to that.
Yeah.
I just want to jump into some of the questions there. Yaori, how did you actually balance student activist and academics at the time when you were at campus?
Yeah, Wabona, it's important to join something because you love it. And it's also important to do a course that you love. When I became a teacher, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. And I chose subjects that I loved. Like I said, I did mechanical engineering or Sedibeng, and drawing was showing me flames. So when I came to VT, I did STEM subject, by the way. STEM, science, technology, electrical, and mathematics, yes. So when I came to VT, I knew this time I'm not going to do mechanics, I'm going to do electric because I'm running away from drawing. So how can I be at all the subjects in the I love maths with all my heart. I love science. I love electrical. I fell in love with electrical because I not drawing. So I loved my course with all my heart. And then when it comes to politics, I love politics with all my heart. So the love that I have for these two things it made it easy for me to be able to balance. Yes, it's something that I was not pressured. Yeah, no, and I was not spotted. No one was spotting me.
Plus,
yourself.
Yeah. But these days, you know what, they are being pushed into this SRC thing so that they be recognized or things like that. I think part of that is that at some point when they sit down and look at Babano criteria, I will allow those who are in power to contest. Remember, some of us read well the subject do morale. So maybe that's why. But I so believe that being into SRC or student activism, it's all about passion. It's all about making sure that do you love the fact that you're a student leader.
Yes.
And I don't think it's also part of the emotions being a student leader, because you'll have to deal with negative comments, negative attitude, either negative or positive. But it's all how do you deal with them? Are you going to respond as much as they respond? Because part of the thing is that I've realized that being a student leader, you might be friendly, but it comes to a point where but it all depends on where
yes, and true. Adding to that, people like to say don't respond to negative comments. You cannot ignore them forever. Some rumors, you must put them to bed. I always say, even this I say it, if you follow me on TikTok, you will see even now when I talk about the issue of registration fee, people get mad at me. They say, Palesa, we are unemployed, my gogo is sick, chronic diseases, and I tell them, no matter how painful your story is, or university, it does not matter. And they think, I'm from the poor of the poorest. I grew up in an orphanage home. That alone will tell you, worry. I'm from the poor of the poorest. I know, and I get about outside there. And then another thing. Exactly. And registration fee is not even primary. You are securing your space, you are securing your future. How shall I poverty? Motolo Ogenzel is wiki. Motolo Ushutile Snapeka iPhone. How shall I content high? Maybe as iPhone, I don't know. Mara, how shall I content high TikTok? This person can make a play now, patala registration fee. Another thing, when I say, I always tell students, any course that ends with management, it gets full within, I said 10 minutes. This said it was 5 minutes.
You don't even say. Just to jump in there. I always advise students that whatever the application had more especially because this side their business studies.
Yeah.
But what we call the business side, like campus here offers business side. So overall management assistant like now in Habaka 12. 5 past 12, there's like 30,000 applications.
Exactly. And when you tell them that another thing, how the application is bull, they usually ask when is the closing date. I hate that question with all my heart. I'm telling you that applications are open. When you're concerned about closing a date, that alone says something about you. And I always say COVID, they know me very well. The quicker the course full, the quicker the course full, the higher the unemployment rate.
Indeed.
Because even I love, if you follow Blade Nzimande, he's the former minister of higher education.
Yes.
He was so honest, that guy. Problem I go over this nice English, you will miss his point. My English former minister Olari, the courses they are no longer in demand.
Indeed.
And universities must write them off.
Yeah,
but the university will never, because by the chaleteka in management, both sports, both PR, but if you check engineering, in Gabo 3 days because
sometimes a month, look at it takes a lot.
BET, because BET engineering, BET VUT specifically, we only do C9 FET, we don't do primary. You want to because more about medicine science, about level 4. So, when I'm school about just a meslita again, but which is our Nike VUT meslita, how about your meslita again? You don't qualify, they get angry and then they call me the owner of VUT. But people who know me, like seniors, they call me the owner of VUT because they know I know everything about VUTs. When we get you are owner of VUT, you took it literally, they start attacking me, and I say, you can get emotional all you want. How can you? No, I'm not here to entertain your feelings. I'm here to tell you facts.
Yeah. The problem engineering is occupied fast because of maths. Because a lot of people they fail maths. Because of maths.
But like I don't want to see maths. I did not want to see maths. I get like a VUT. I give it like no. So luckily I did well. Metric. I've got 3 distinctions. No. I'm a teacher about metric results. No, I would electrical or mechanics because I didn't want anything to do with mechanics. I said electrical. That's how I came. But initially in 96 about clinics, maths.
Yeah, no. Indeed.
Yeah.
Background team, allow me to bring you in here. You guys are looking at me.
That's right. We welcome it.
It seems like this Palesa story is very interesting to a point. Interest. One of the way they focusing at it. Allow me to bring you in, guys. Any questions to the floor?
No further questions.
Melusi, come in. No, speak. Don't worry.
Sure. Yeah. Like what I said, but like if na kimucho OCB, so reta maths lead, but on the side I've been practicing pure math skills that focusing online. So let's just say now for after level 4 year, but was it a computer science, or and then specifically on the field of cybersecurity there, but I want to know, can it be possible for me to actually have persons to check in for my maths marks that I got for my NQF at Sedibeng, or would they actually check for, let's just say, my course mark down there?
Okay. Usually, how I apply universities, even if only Otwako College, but they will still want your metric results, and they focus more on your metric results. So that's what happens. Let me speak of TVET because I know more TVET. If only mathematics, they want level 4 for mathematics, but if it's maths lit, they want level 6. But you must have science, so it's very rare to find someone who has science and maths literacy. So you automatically become out. So in your case, I'm going to be honest with you. They're more interested metric results. The reason why universities are more interested in metric results, it's very rare to fake metric results. Some people do, I don't know how, but it's very rare. And it's easy even to check they check via Umalusi. Universities are automatically linked to Umalusi. So if they're going to consider your certificate, I mean, I can come back and say, hey, I was in Mozambique and I obtained this, So that's why we focus on Umalusi results, because we know they're 100% legit or 90% legit. Yeah.
So it means you're not management.
Management side.
Yeah, within 2 minutes.
Anyone else so far? Should we keep rolling? Do you have questions?
Yeah. So far, questions. Part of my question.
Okay, no. Host, I want to ask this question to Sis Palesa. What advice would you give to students who are scared to speak out?
Right. Number one, the reason why you are scared to speak out is because you are not familiar with policies. As a student, you must never only focus on your rights, or as a student, I have a right to do 1, 2, 3. You must also focus on your responsibility. Number one, as a student, you have got, I think there are 2 main responsibilities. The first responsibility is to attend your classes. Second responsibility is to pass. You see me, I was a well-known student activist. You'll find me in every strike, but I've never missed my class. I was never late for a class. When I was in class, I was a student. My lecturers, they used to love and hate me at the same time, because they hate me because of what they see on social media. But in class, I was a student. I was not Palesa the activist. I was a student, and I would raise my hand. I would say, I used to call my lecturers, say, Sometimes the English Tate Sadiki is still there. He was one of the most strictest lecturers one of us called and then Nelis Kim Saka like nobody's business.
But you didn't take it personal.
Even my principal, my current principal, I know he's going to watch this. We fight like nobody's business, but we get along. That's one thing about me. If I'm benefiting from you, I humble myself. You will give up. Like keep myself again that sadiki akutlwisisimo that sadiki ra tshaba o thole hore we maybe network ya re sharp we don't have Wi-Fi that sadiki understand yeah you are going to get zero thing. I will call bona I will humble myself at time ya ka tla fela I will call students and say donate bafethu at time ifedile student will donate they will all come to my room go educate we used to have a very big kitchen we will sit there and I will call and I will beg I will humble myself. That's how I used to do things. So if you are a student leader, before you're a student leader, you are a student.
Yeah.
Humble yourself, attend your classes, pass. You cannot be fighting for N plus one and allowances when you are not an NSFAS beneficiary. You understand? You must pass.
Host, look, man, I just want to jump more parting leadership banking, but since Palesa has touched on many, so I'll jump into number 15. Just do reference then. I'll jump into number 15, which is the one here. Are you able to access it? Just look at the part here 3, for my SRC and leadership. I want to jump. I don't want to leave you behind the tower so that you can follow. I'm the one. I'm sending photos. The thing about informative. Maybe that's why. Sis Palesa, what are some of your achievements that you are proud of? What are some of your achievements that you are proud of about you being into the SRC term?
I've been waiting for this question. If I can mention my credentials, I will take a long day. But let's forget about credentials and positions. But now one of my proudest moments, even going forward to go Sedibeng College, like I've touched the student saying that now student I will give you full information and I will explain I'm fluent in Sezulu and Sesotho. I'll make sure that you understand. And if I don't know something, I don't waste your time. I say I don't know it. Try so and so. So the students saying that they were able to register and apply for NSFAS under my guidance. A lot of students, when they graduate, they even text me, they say, thank you. If it wasn't for the information you shared, a university would have been horrible for me. So my number one achievement is that a lot of students today that graduate, I always tell my learners, I know they're going to watch this. Now, how can mamela? And my second achievement, I fought for Funza Lushaka. Now in VUT, when students go for practicals, they're given 10,000 under my leadership. They're given when you go to practicals, we give you 10,000. You buy clothes, you buy cologne. Our emaka blabana or good morning class. Obonalo, you are from BA, you are from VUT, and this is how I won this battle because I remember. We called a meeting. I even went to Pretoria, Funza Lushaka offices because I was fed up. 4,000. In other universities, they get increase every year. Ronako VUT, we don't get increase. And then we called a meeting. The meeting was online. I remember Funza Lushaka. But people who are under Funza Lushaka. There's only, I think, Funza Lushaka, the representatives that think they're national. Funza Lushaka is not NSFAS, it's not under NSFAS, it's specifically for BEd students. Measuring in STEM subject and foundation phase, not any other subjects. And then we had an online meeting. And then all students, I arranged this meeting. All students were online, and I remember I had issues of network. And I said to and Tate Rachitanga, I think he's still the CEO.
And being into the student leadership. What would you change, Sis Palesa, about student leadership structures today?
Yeah, and I was waiting for this question. Number one, Matuke died different generation. Indeed. From my generation. Nako VUT, my generation was called ancestors. So I'm the original ancestor. And then during our time, maybe I think the reason why we are more informed during our time, this thing of Bovuma having Wi-Fi full time it was scarce. Wi-Fi nerebana leona ko campus. Maraliteng only that side pila official campus manager. So if never release any statement ka NSFAS, that statement will be shared ko the WhatsApp group, forwarded so many times, many times, and we would spend time immediately. I was born. Would read if usasibali, chances of you seeing it again it was difficult to have access to information, but once utola access, you'd use that opportunity. So that's why majority of us ancestors, we know so much about NSFAS. But now with Matuke, if you send some statement, that thing is available on Google. You can just ask ChatGPT, and then by the time only one you read, you comprehend. So our comprehension skills are different. The way you understand it, I know so what I mean in short, I just mean if the student leaders diga ba familiar social media this thing of writing long statements does not work for Matuke. They get bored. Matuke are very busy. Students, yes, you guys are busy. I don't know you're busy doing what. Exactly. So do videos. As an SRC members, as structures, do short videos. If you want to share information, if you want to spread information, do short videos and then release statement to accommodate Palesa Rose the ancestor. But Matuke, you about TikTok. So yes, too much, and they're always on social media.
24/7.
If you want to spread information on Matuke, go to TikTok. They're mostly there. They are there on Facebook. They're very scarce. But go to TikTok, Bamol. Do short videos as structures, as student leaders, as SRC members. And again, you cannot be an SRC member and then over shy, over camera shy. In reality, you are shy. And
you can't stand your ground.
And another thing, this thing of wanting to look good before you do a video, you must background must always be value invest. Do a video from the comfort of your room. If student must see and you're doing absolutely nothing about it. So let's make use of the digital world as student leaders, structures, and SRC members, because that's where 3Ks are.
Indeed.
Yes.
Matuke no politiki latala TikTok.
Ba shebile fela ba re damano motelle bjana ke le 2K.
Madlanga commission le shebella ko TikTok.
Re bona fela mo lo re matala wa etsa taba.
A le sa shebella ditaba.
I don't know lo sa ke bona ning TV since, because every time I sleep before ke robala ke
the information e leng go ditabeng we kry go TikTok.
Hey, pila.
And TikTok, it's a malidi comment. So you get opinions sabatu, and as someone who piece a comment
debate
so you are even able to choose sides immediately. I think. So that's why I think that's also one of the reasons I love TikTok.
Yeah, it is very, especially because of TikTok and social media on its own. Then look. We are cruising nicely, Matuke. We are cruising nicely.
But you are lazy to
But I think maybe let's not apply blanket approach to what
sorry. Apologies.
I do read, I do study, I do make sure that whatever comes. Because when I was in, let me just put some pinch of salt. When I was in SRC, I used to make sure that the statement is as fast as you said. I read them, because by Naba School, the way they are so lazy, they wouldn't even read those letters. They would just see them by KG. I get one pizza KG. Now KG statement is a series.
Yes.
So now when it's personally 2 pages, you need to start
summarize it for them.
Have a student in have provisionally funded, so one what I'm saying, have a man rejected like because more statement to go at the private KG. I can understand the statement. Not to understand Hasibal.
Yeah, what let's summarize it for
Let's read.
important.
Let's jump into NSFAS on its own. I think that is the hot topic that everyone is waiting for. Yes, it's Palesa. Can we jump into part NSFAS? I know you are not NSFAS recipient. It's just felt like a matter of being a content creator trying to help. But while we're struggle about applying for funding.
Yes, correct.
What made you to start creating NSFAS help desk content?
Yes,
What
so
inspired you?
that's what Vaal University of Technology Group, the famous group that was created
Is it
by
the one on Facebook?
Yeah. It's not there's official page only the admin post, and then only with SRC 2026 that is run by students. So now this what happens when I left the EFF and became a member of PICO. Haneke seke poster but they blocked me. They blocked me because I was now PICO again. They blocked me, and then when we made peace, I came back, and then I was now allowed to post again. So as SRC members, nearly 16 again. The programs, you end up realizing your strength, and then nakabona the strength the registrations. So I was participating. I will get the registration, assisting student answering questions online. Then student became familiar with me. Even after I left VUT, it comes January during registration period, student will still ask me questions, and I would answer them. When I get back from work, I get 2:30. So when I come back, I would assist them. So now this did not sit well with the current SRC because they felt, like you said, this is a spotlight. They felt that I'm taking the spotlight. Some said, you are now old. Yeah, you are now old. You are an ancestor. But matuke hati. And remember, ribuaka bupula ba mot, ribuaka funding, ribuaka education, ribuaka bupula ba mot. So what? They blocked me, or they would, if I post something, they would lock my post. I don't know. I would see my post, but I wouldn't be able to comment.
But this time around, the technology is different. When you go to Facebook, some bakhona freezer from posting.
Yes.
I just saw someone let them freeze it. I don't know. Or comment or what someone apparently that mean or allegedly at your post have been frozen, something like that on Facebook. How about the input? So I can't send, I can't do anything.
Because now the spotlight will be on you. So as they were doing that, I would see my mail have blocked. They just freeze me. I can't post, I can't comment. Mara kiabona, the student didn't tag. And kiabona man, these are important questions. So I said, let me just do a video because most of my followers go to Facebook. They're also my followers on TikTok. So I did 2 videos. This is the question they asked me on Facebook. And then people started asking me questions. Video earlier trender. I got 500,000 views. And then I had to do the next videos. And then this is where we ended.
This is where we ended.
So EFF student command in block So today I've got 41,000 followers because of that.
I think it's jealous. So, but and one other thing would be they will tell you rata relevance. How many times they've told me since I've left SRC or abuti rata relevance. Relevance. They know the good side of me being a student leader, being a former SRC member. They know the good side of it. I remember there's just this one word that they usually like to tell me about how special. The last time when we had a fight, a physical fight. It was hectic. How while in Luan, how special? Like, is that all that you can tell me? How special? Other than that, they would tell you, fellow Rabuti, how special. Okay, fine, I can't special king. Then once the fellow how special. Vancouver campus, it's part of life.
Yes, I know. I think comrades don't understand me. Student activism is permanent. Remember, NSFAS, NSFAS, as long as NSFAS will always be here because South Africa, I'll forever be relevant because I know about NSFAS. You understand? So just because your SRC term ended, that does not mean your student activism has stopped. Even the late Steve Biko. It'll always be leadership. It's late, Mara. It's leadership. Forever. Bona matuke amotseba. The late Steve, he's still relevant. He'll forever be relevant.
Yes. What are some of the most NSFAS problems, common NSFAS problems that students do face?
What's about the most painful one? This thing of expired NSFAS. Majority of them do not know that NSFAS expires. For example, let's say in 2024, you are in grade 12, and then you apply for NSFAS 2025. And then you don't get admitted anywhere in university, but your NSFAS says professionally funded or eligible for. You are funded, yes. Your NSFAS will expire in 2026 November.
Yes.
Yes, so meaning in 2027, for you to be funded in 2027, you must reapply. But majority of South Africans don't know this. When they log in on their NSFAS portal, they see that they are funded. They think even in 2027 they'll be funded. And come 2027, they now admitted to university and they don't have funding. So when I tell them that no, your NSFAS has expired, hey, they break down and cry. They get to yes, and they send a screenshot of an expired NSFAS. So how can we fix it? And I say there's no way you can fix it.
Especially if the application
there's no way. Even if they were open, like that one has expired, you have to start a new application. So I think that's the most painful one that I've seen. And the second most painful one is when you're wrongfully unfunded. Sometimes NSFAS can say you have exhausted your N+1, and that time you've only used an NSFAS for a year. And sometimes they can say your household income is more than 350,000. That time Udurali Magogo Sasa, you are an orphan. I think that is also very painful.
At that time,
yeah, but these ones who are failing and then the appeals are rejected, that one, honestly speaking, it's not painful. You failed most.
I want to jump to a part the rejected student. But part of my question is that what mistakes do students make when applying? I think if we can establish something. There's I think one part of that is that there's this influence. I don't know if it's influence or it's rumors. NSFAS loan. I think maybe we then need to sit down and say, students, look,
yes,
maybe they need to be informed that students, look,
yes.
So I myself as KG coming from a rural area, would now help me and apply the loan. Not reading criteria NSFAS or abuti. NSFAS if your household income is 600,000 a year, then yes, you fall under loan. But if you below 350,000, you fall under bazar. I think that's part of the reason why the students they become rejected. You reject and come and now respond and say about labo consent form, declaration form. I think maybe part of those reasons don't you think we need education reapply for NSFAS?
Yes, you do, and I think Batubangata who are contributing to these mistakes, it's NSFAS itself.
Indeed.
When they release statements, they always omit the most important part. And then when student leaders, when we share these parts that they omit, public ones, like if you follow me on TikTok, you'll see that I was teaching them about clearance SMS. So even if your portal says you are eligible for funded, you are funding, you need to be cleared first. That NSFAS is useless until you are cleared. So no, you won't be able to register until you are cleared. For you to register is to pay registration fee. They say, never! My sister is like that. What they don't understand. No, your sister was able to register because she was cleared. Well, now you are funded but not cleared.
Yes.
So the most common mistakes that they do, especially in the year of 2026, they don't understand. We've got two types of NSFAS. We've got NSFAS University and NSFAS College. But during my time, there was only one NSFAS. And during my time, it was a bursary. But before my time, it was a loan. And then we fought for it. During fees must fall and then it became a bursary. Now they're changing it. They're slowly taking back to where they. But because my 2000 are too busy, you guys don't see these things. So now we've got two types of NSFAS. And NSFAS will never tell you. They never release a statement explaining these issues. We've got NSFAS University that you apply for 801s. And then we've got NSFAS TVET, which is very complicated because got TVET, we've got 3 programs. Another thing, my 2Ks, they look down on TVET college. They know when you say we've got 3.
They don't even prioritize
They don't know.
even when they apply. There's this thing or they like applying to university. Sorry to jump in there, but there's this thing or apply like university and then by it's a university first priority.
Yes.
TVET, they just come back next
Yes. Yes. And abafitla ka attitude, and then every chance they get, they will tell you, nah, I got a bachelor pass, I got a diploma. They will tell you that. I remember during my time, they used to tell me that. And I said to them, if you can put your matric certificate here, and I put mine, I'm 100% sure that mine will show you flames. So shut up. Hey, so they've got that. So let's go back to where I was. So with TVET is very complicated. We've got levels. I like it because you guys are at TVET, you understand. We've got NSFAS levels specifically for NCV. Then we've got NSFAS trimester specifically for native engineering. Then we have NSFAS semester. So out of this NSFAS, if we're not at trimester 2, you'll be doing your N1. When you apply for NSFAS, you're going to apply for NSFAS college semester 2. You must be specific. So even if you apply for NSFAS college, but you are not specific on the semester, you won't be funded. If you are doing semester, your business and what, you must be specific. If you are not specific, you won't be funded. And then if you are doing NCV, you can only apply once. And then when you pass level 2, you must reapply for NSFAS for level 3. If you don't reapply, it changed. It changed this year. This is the information and I read this year. If you don't reapply for level 3, you won't be fine. So you guys, next year, just remember, you must reapply for the new level. But now with the university, you only apply once. And then when you pass, the system automatically applies for you. Yes. So with university, the NSFAS, it's a little bit less complicated. But because people look down, TVET, they don't follow, they don't care. That's why most students are unfunded. That's why most students, they are financially excluded. That's why most of them end up with a debt. They are under debt unnecessary. Sedibeng. I'm this powerful because of Sedibeng College. When I went to VET, I killed powerful because of Sedibeng College. Sedibeng College, I was not powerful. So I am who I am because of Sedibeng. And people think I learned this go VUT now. If it VUT. So never. Yes, in short, I'm saying never look down on TVET College.
Thank you.
I had a friend.
Yes. Oh, why look down?
A friend of mine.
It's transformative.
A friend of mine is a supervisor ko Eskom Emo Sedibeng. Sedibeng haufi le Sedibeng College ke Sedibeng ke Edu City anene e beba district. I used to stay ko Edu City. So rona Edu City ne re patala motlakase ne re sa trip. We used to pay over $1 million for electricity. The people who were in charge, the go campus, if electricity needed, would take a bus and go campus. You didn't pay electricity, and then they will show us. Then I saw that we were paying over $1 million. I said, Eskom Bankwela. We went to Eskom. Then remember, Eskom is our neighbor. We went to Eskom. We found other people, but on goes on 10 by 5. I said, no, they were giving them attention. I said, never. We paid over $1 million. You're going to give me attention. You paid me. So I was causing rao, and then this guy came to me. This lady knows her story. Came to me. So this guy became my friend. And then when I learned he did electrical engineering at Sedibeng College, and now he's supervisor at Eskom. From TVET College, I was so proud.
Yeah, I think part of the reason, I'll bring you in now, Jay. I think part of the reason is that I don't know why there's this underestimation in the TVET sector, and if they can just know that it has groomed a lot of people, and we have contributed a lot into the TVET sector. Because I remember when I was in SRC, I led in Safetsa. I was a delegate in Safetsa, but I used to travel make sure that when we have programs, we plan. Because one thing I like about Safetsa, it's because it's trying to transform the TVET sector by all means, and since everything is indeed, I must say, it has transformed very, 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 very powerfully. So, and part of the investing of the student leaders indeed the TVET check cheats. It changes how, because if you can look at back then and look at now, you would see when the TVET sector changes. Because I'm also informed that switch to standard university. Like, look at our TVET now. Go also be the cafeteria now. Access pasta shop into a cafeteria. So you can see TVET is really transforming. So one other thing I think we should also advise metric, apply.
Yes.
Apply in time. Sis Palesa, may I bring in Jay the back?
I have a question. So we've been pressing on people are overlooking maybe they are not TVET. So my question is, why do you think that's the case?
Yeah. Case Kires. Bana baskolo grade 12s, they want to stay chorus. And I will tell you why. It's because of TikTok, people do vlogs. Come with me, my first day chorus. This is my room. This is my babona background. Bale bako Cape Town. Babona via how kiki ulwandle. You see, and then we do parties. Like, pelako TikTok, we only show you the nice things. We don't show you when we are hungry. We don't show you when we are sharing beans. Now I remember. I used to buy wabona moto brown.
Little guy,
Okay.
No, before I wanted to add something. You mentioned about TVET College Chincha and things are now looking good. Go Facebook. There's this guy. He's an ambassador for TVET College. Yeah.
Something. That guy. No, besides, but the one aling monetized or onaling, but the
I think so. Yeah, he's an ambassador, and he also does share important information. Because I even started following him because, like I said, one thing about NSFAS, it changes every year. The NSFAS that I used and the one you guys are using is completely different. So I said, let me follow him so that I stay updated. So the guy he's also well informed. It's just that he does not answer follow-up questions. He only shares, but yeah. So I was very impressed to see that TVET College has an ambassador who's using the digital world to share information. And I so wish to go university they could have the same like that. And that guy is very well informed.
Now I will bring you in now, Jay. Let us try to push this. I know during my term of office, or I must say that 2023, when many applied for NSFAS, I want us to advise us on this. I know Harvard apply funding by then, they would need to upload the documents. But because now system is changing, please tell us more about Patela applying NSFAS.
Okay.
I'm informed that NSFAS is linked to the system.
Yes, correct. A very, very important question. And I love answering this question. NSFAS is now linked with SARS and Home Affairs. So now when you apply for NSFAS, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, they won't ask you to upload any document. Especially if you are a SASA beneficiary. If you are a SASA beneficiary, your household income, they already have information of your household income. Because SASA verifies your household income every year, SASA. And then they send it to SARS. And then NSFAS will get that information via SASA. So you are going to become automatically verified. But then it happens, but only to few people where they will ask you to upload. One of the reasons maybe why they are asking you to upload, maybe it's because along the way you change your certificate, you change your sister name, you change your name, your mother got married, your mother you divorced, there were changes. So what they have on their system and your names does not correspond. So that's the reason why they would ask you to upload. So the advantage and the disadvantage of this new system. is that the advantage is that back in the days they used to ask us to write affidavits, and then when you go to police station to ask to write an affidavit, a police will give you an affidavit and say write it yourself. Remember, you're not a police, you've never seen an affidavit. Police are trained to write affidavits. You are a member of public, you don't know. So people did not know what to write. They were writing things, irrelevant stuff, and the applications would be rejected. So that's the advantage of this automatic system. You don't have to write applications. The disadvantage is that sometimes they can pick up that maybe your household income is 350,000. On the system, on SARS, it shows that your household income is more than 350,000. And maybe the person who was earning that amount is now on pension or he's now dead, but the system has not updated it. So you are not going to be funded. They're going to wrongfully reject you because of what they got from SARS, which is not updated. Anyway. So that is the disadvantage.
Yeah, can I just add on that? I think part of students being rejected, Katabaya 350, some parents might be alive, but it comes to a point where by then the parent had only one child, but now Usana literally. And even if I live above threshold at 350, the question is, does the parent afford?
No.
It does not. I think you're not NSFAS on its own does not look at her, but this parent, how many children does he or she have? Because you might have 4 children only above threshold at 350, but the question is, do you afford? Because I so believe from threshold at 350,000. 35, 32 before tax. After tax was at around 27. So I think part of that NSFAS should look at who does the parent afford.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
And it does not even make sense to be a taxpayer and then your kids don't benefit from your tax.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Co-host is should I come? I wanted to ask Sis Palesa Rose, how can students avoid being scammed from NSFAS?
Okay. NSFAS will never scam a student. NSFAS. Institutions will never scam students. VUT will never scam you. Sedibeng College would never scam you. People who will scam you is imposers. The reason why students are scammed is because deep down they're also scammers. If you want a shortcut to the university, if you want to buy your way in, you will get scammed. If you do things the right way, you won't get scammed. Number one, students, they don't want to pay application fee. Do you know that? I think when you apply for university, you pay application fee of 120 or 100 rand. Remember, you can apply now. You can apply. When you apply on the system, it's for free. You apply mahala. And then after applying, then you need to go to ABSA to deposit your 120. Your application will be submitted. Then after you deposit your 120, and then you upload your proof of payment. So now students saw that the application is submitted, and then they relax. And then people like to comment. I hate those comments. Someone will say, me, I did not pay, but I was accepted. You don't know if that person is telling the truth. You don't know how strong their ancestors are. Some people have strong ancestors out there. They do things the wrong way, but they become successful anyway. Yes. So that's what students they do. And then, if you don't pay application fee, your application will not be processed. It will not be processed, correct. And then come registration, they see that they are not being accepted, and then Palesa comes in and tells them that if you do not pay, your application won't be progressed. They now want to buy their way in. Some of them, they even text me. Yes, Palesa, can you assist us? We've got 2,000, and I told them, now I'm a teacher under the Department of Education. I cannot afford to lose my permanent job because of 2,000. And then that's how they get scammed. If someone comes to you and say they got scammed, just know that that person is also a scammer. They are trying to scam their way in. So I don't entertain such things. I don't even, I avoid even making videos about them because all of you are tortis.
And what's the corruption in Tomagirin? Cotton Wiz, let's move to point 8, impact and vision, so we can wrap it up. It has been a fruitful one, I must say. On impact and vision, we'll just touch on 1 or 2 questions, then we do the closing part, and then after, then we'll bring Jay. I think that should be all. Sis Palesa, what impact do you want to leave behind?
I want to make education fashionable for all. Do you see, if you watch TikTok, if you're on TikTok, every week there's a new DC dance challenge, and everyone is hopping into it. I would be so happy the way black child is able to dance. Almost everyone knows how to dance. If you are black and you don't know how to dance, we become shocked, especially if you are a 2K. Imagine if all the 2Ks were hopping into education the same way they do go to dance challenge. Imagine if everyone was excited about going to university, going to TVET college. Imagine if everyone was so well informed about NSFAS the same way they're well informed about DC.
Yes.
That's the impact I want. I want to make education fashionable. Yes.
No, in fact, we must just vote for you to be the Minister of Education. we must just vote for you to be the Minister of Education. Let's jump into where do you want to see yourself in 5 years' time?
I don't know if I should disclose this, but
if it's private, you can keep it. It's okay.
Yes, in 5 years' time, I want to completely master's yaka, and I plan to grow under SADU. I plan to grow under SADU. Yes, I'm not a member. I'm not a member of ANC. I'm not a member of EFF Student Command, but I am a member of SADU, and I've seen a gap that I want to close there in SADU. So in 5 years' time, I am capable of being chairperson of SADU.
No, wonderful wishes indeed. Wonderful wishes. I don't know if you guys know what is SADU, but I'll explain the other day. I'll do. So please tell us, yes, Palesa, do you plan to enter politics or stay in education?
I plan to enter politics in a very fashionable way. Now my aim, I want to make education accessible to every black child. You know, if you can go kokasi and obotengwana obatla ho ya kae o tlo jotsa hore nka khalla ya university. To some learners, university and college, it's a far-fetched dream. They're not even thinking about it. Plan ya go ha ke qeta matric ha ke nka thola mosebetsi ko boxa wa tseba ke nka ba eng. But if imagine if ngwana mong a tseba hore ha ke tloa mo grade 12 I'm going to college. Mana ba bang ha ba tloa ha ba qeta fela matric ya bona, the first thing they do, they apply for 370. This 370. Yes, because they know that they're going to be home, they're going to be unemployed. Another mentality I want to go ngwana mong ha qeta fela matric a reke beke ele e kholo ya o paka diphahlo re nna jana wa I'm going to university. I want to finish this 370 mentality Uma 2K because I get away Uma 96 is a meal. But Uma 2K I think
should end.
Yeah, it should end. Yes.
Yeah, we approve it. They theory.
Yes. And people when they see me because people assume that I always have data. My sister is like that. I can fit a fella before K do better. You go back on sport. I want to check my 370.
But let me touch this thing at 370. Some of the students now they fail to apply for NSFAS because you're not 370. Do you know that?
Yeah. No, what I know is that if you are an NSFAS beneficiary, you can't qualify for 370. If you are earning 370 and then you apply for NSFAS and then NSFAS funds you, your 370 will automatically suspend automatically.
Maybe that's part of the thing that contributes into the factor. Some of the students being home, not applying. Maybe ability this thing. Kana ba itseng ka apply la 3 NSFAS 370 ka ya stop. And the question is how can I apply la NSFAS? Will I get school?
Yeah,
that could be a factor also.
Yeah, what I get what he's saying, which is very important. Once NSFAS says you are funded, for you to activate that NSFAS, you must register. If you are not registered, your NSFAS is not activated, so you are only funded on paper. So the SASA knows that you are not receiving NSFAS. So it will not affect your 370. I'm not comfortable discussing about 370. I know.
It's okay. It's okay. But I think that is the part of the major thing is that about the 370. I think I apply like 370, but it's a topic for another thing. I'm thinking this, as we've been sitting here, I'm thinking that, you know what, since you have said that you want to transform a lot of black child out there sitting kukasi this is what I always say in my podcast that I so wish that one day re ka bana le plan as much as we do have eska bata ba re ka osane ke kopana le motho le reng ka age ya ka ra lekana nna le ena ra lekana, but at the same time when he wakes up or when she wakes up sa sna nang ko I am makuleng, there's nothing embothering ke le so ke bone the same person as at my age atsuwa ngayo nna go makuleng lady a ye go ntlung asana hani next, especially onto this social media life that we are living in. Is there no anything that they can do? I do understand the fact that data can be a problem, and I recently saw that so-called political parties fighting that bad data is expires. So hopefully they do win that sense your data is expire, but also it is easily accessible. But what I'm trying to say, I just want to find a way on how we can help the youth out there, whether or drop out, whether can a school, whether how can a school. Look, I just don't know how can we get to find everyone. Guys, what is it that you guys want? I'm thinking some they can be given an opportunity. We can somehow blame their parents or space to talk, but at the same time the question is, do they have knowledge about what they want to do? I've heard that you touched Motabar Tusa, but at some point invest or if there's a need that we need to do a program more open, let it be. Let it be. We can sit down on that, talk about it, plan. Let's see who we can organize. Let's see which sponsors we can bring on board. That's one thing I know, but that 1% thing, 2, 3, initially will be no. It's only this forum. If it's a forum that will come, that will embrace this 1, 2, 3, and 4, will make sure that you, because it needs to change.
I get where you are going, and I think I have a solution to that. I've been talking about it. I grew up watching this American movies, and then what I learned from movies, and I even researched. Go America, dikolo dingata like high school dinga. Honale school say they at school. Maybe after completing your junior school, you go to art school. There's dancing school. There's music schools, and these are not private schools. Like it's public school. You can. If I grew up watching this movie, I don't know. I forgot it. Set it off. They were dancing in a little group about hip hop, step up. If you saw that movie, Bakos Kolong South Dance. You are on Bakos Kolong South Dancer, and then there's that lady now, too many tracks, Bamuntito, Umokos Kolong South Dancer, and he even took it to the streets. She influenced the streets. They ended up coming to school, but dancer Kos Kolong. So imagine in South Africa, if we had something like that, to say maybe after primary school, for high school you can go to an art school, you can go to a music, you can go to a broadcast school. Not everyone is book smart.
Exactly.
You understand? I don't think people would go in the streets like right now. Lulu, I'm sure you would have been in a media school, media high school. Now you would not be even doing hospitality. You understand?
Focusing on what you like.
So I think this traditional education is not working for this generation. Remember, this is a different generation.
A different one, yeah.
So we need to find a way to come. Go Orange Farm. My mother stays in Orange Farm. So go Orange Farm. Every 5 years they start what we call skill centers. Almost every area has a skill center, and I always tell them that I'm sick and tired of skill center. I don't attend any event where they're opening skill center. I don't respect anyone who's starting these projects of skill center. And I said, look at Sedibeng. In Sedibeng, they've got Sedibeng College, they've got 4 universities. I wonder if you stay in Vaal and you're not educated, that you are careless. In Sedibeng, Haribo Felaka next to Sedibeng, Kwasbukeng. There's Tabovuyo for special school. There's a Abet next to ESCOM. There's Abet for ancestors like me. There's high school here for high school. Yes. There's the Residencia High School. Yeah. And then there's college, there's TVET college, and then there's university. Stratton say one. Do you see how powerful that street is? And then go already from there. What they have a skill center. This street is a school center. That street is. We don't have a TVET college. We don't. And of course, skill center. You actually it's whatever certificate that we are doing. Certificate of attendance. It's not accredited. So I was telling them that I'm sick and tired of these things. Let's push for a TVET college in Orange Farm. Let's push for a setup like Sedibeng. I'll forever respect Vaal people. I'll forever respect any person who started that site, the VUT, the Sedibeng College. Whoever who came that idea, that person is smart.
Indeed. Yeah, no, in closure, I must say that it has been a fruitful one. I'll just give you 5 minutes, guys, on the floor. So if you have any questions to ask, if there's no questions, we wrap it up, we close it. It has been a fruitful one, I must say. May we not preamble, straight to the question. Time has run out. Any questions to the floor?
Yes.
You mentioned that if maybe South Africa would have learned twins and something like that. Now the question is, do you think maybe if we had such things, because now I kind of feel like somehow you contradicted yourself. Because now there was a part where you mentioned that I can't remember clearly, but you mentioned something that it's okay, some courses but succinctly. But now universities can't do that because they feed off that.
Yes.
So now we have such things, music schools, dance schools, then about our tourism cities, our tourism, I understand so people it might be a challenge somehow. So I'm trying to fish your thoughts on that because I kind of feel like I was contradicting.
Okay, I think you did not understand me clearly, but it's fine. That one, remember when I said when I mentioned, I said Blade in Zimane did say that most of the courses are no longer in demand in terms of university. That's now tertiary level. So now when we were speaking of art schools and music school, we're now speaking of high school. Now it's high school to say how do we take off this young kids, teenagers on the streets. We say if we can create high schools, more they're going to follow their passions, would avoid this one. And then I think I've seen even in this room Kibonali picture art. So I don't know if this person is studying art or university.
Yeah, this person was studying at University of VUT there. So this thing we got them from the guy who go University of Vaal Technologies. So na study art or king I get to baby that course.
Graphic design.
But I know why.
You see?
Go school is a kid.
Yeah, go cat, yeah, and they recently introduced it and it go grade 10, but it was I think 5 years back.
Even private school.
Yeah, it's very scarce, but it's very, very scarce. So but imagine if from grade 8 at Amaya, at high, then go university. There would be no need for him to spend 3 years go university studying graphic design because most of the part would have been covered. In short, I'm saying some diplomas, this thing you're in get 3 years, it's only to make money. Some diplomas, if you can check, they can take you a year. If maybe at I go grade 8, would only go to university for 1 year, we are going to save time and money and open space for more students. This thing of having majority of students but we have space would cut a lot of costs. That was my point.
Indeed. No, thank you, Sis Palesa. I must say, Vinny, I believe you're the last one.
Spalesa, I also have a question. And it's like they say NSFAS in a budget for every student, you know?
Yes.
So yenziwa yini into yokuthi maybe i-student masesicothe ngekhosi yaso sizograduata kuthiwe sikolete i-NSFAS, imali ye-accommodation or ye-course kwenzeka kanjani?
Okay, there's what we call NSFAS closeout. I learned about it in 2020. In one of my videos, I explain it in full details. For example, let's say everything, your course for the whole year costs 50 rand and you're funded by NSFAS. Your course for the whole year costs 50 rands, and then at the end of the year, NSFAS comes to the university and says, I know I owe 50 rand for Palesa Rose, but can I please pay you 30 rand for now? And then later on, I will come and pay you 20 rand.
Yes.
So once NSFAS says that to the university, you are going to be on what we call NSFAS closeout, meaning there's a debt under your name, but that debt is for NSFAS. NSFAS has made arrangements with the university. So when it comes to you graduating and getting your qualification, the university won't give you your qualification. They are going to try to bully you. That's when they're going to tell you that you are owing all this while they won't tell you. Maybe you're on NSFAS closeout from first year. This is an arrangement between NSFAS and university. Second year you'll be funded. Third year they will never tell you this information until the last day. Then they will release and say, you'll be shocked. They're going to try to bully you into paying this debt, which is very wrong, because when you're on NSFAS closeout, that alone is proof that the arrangement is between the university and NSFAS. You should be able to get your qualification. That's another thing students, the current SRC must fight for. All the students who are under NSFAS closeout must be given their qualification, because that debt NSFAS has agreed to settle it. When will they settle it? We don't know. That's what causing you to owe is NSFAS close out.
No, thank you, Sis Palesa, for coming. Round of applause, I must say, round of applause. It has been a fruitful one.
There's a question you guys did not ask me, and I was hoping that you would ask me if I had to be a NSFAS minister or executive member, if I was making final decision to NSFAS. Differently.
Take it. We're giving you the platform.
Now, if I had to be in charge of NSFAS, every student, despite their household income, would qualify for NSFAS.
Yes.
Automatically, you would qualify for NSFAS. And then, for me to continue funding you, you'd have to pass 80% of your modules. And I was going to give you one chance. You mess it up, you're out. If you fail to pass 80% of your modules, you are out. The only people who would get a second chance is people who were sick, the medical hospital, and they've got evidence. So to me, it's not okay for someone to work so hard, go grade 12, pass the distinction, say 7, and then no, you don't qualify for NSFAS because your mother is earning 350. Only your mother is under debt. On paper, the money looks good, but in reality, I'm saying that student should be given a chance. But only South African, you must be 100% South, 100%. If you are mixed, no, you don't qualify. 100% South African. Like I'm saying, if I was making the rules, if you fail, you're going to be out.
No second chances.
No second chances.
You must read.
What it's saying, there was a question that was raised, and then so there are people who keep failing. So the so-called student leaders, they've been there for almost 5 years. So now this person has to go to. Is it a tradition for someone who is being there since that to be so I'm trying to fish your thoughts on that.
Okay, when you become SRC, you end up having relationships outside, like with people of accommodations. KG will say, Palesa, you are famous there on TikTok. Please get me students to come and stay here. I will give you 100 rand nyana wabon. So most student leaders they don't want to leave the system because of benefits like that. So for you to be able to work with such people, you must be a registered student. Even though I'm raising a very important, yes, even though I'm raising this very important point, VUT will never invite me because I'm no longer a student. So for me to be able to get a platform, I have to register. So that's why next year I'm doing my honors in VUT, because there are things I need to address and I can only address them when I'm inside. So that's why you see comrades not wanting to leave. And let me tell you something. It's hot outside. It's hot outside, and I felt it for some. When I left VUT, when after I graduated, I was now unemployed again, and I was now a nobody. Remember, now I'm used to being Palesa Rose, a student activist. Now I'm outside. I'm a nobody. I'm an unemployed teacher. I have to send out CVs. I have to go. I have to attend interviews. You understand? And when I was attending interviews, remember when you are introducing yourself, you can't say I'm Palesa Rose, a student activity. They're not interested. They want to. You're selling yourself in terms of academics. And in my head, I'm like, why can't these people Google me? Google me. I deserve if they can help me. So I think it was a little bit cold until I got into the system. And once I became a teacher, I now had to introduce myself again. I had to work hard to start afresh. So comrades are running away from that. I scored aside.
I think it's facing the reality.
Yes, you are used to being if I know if will call this person. If out there you are on your own. So that's why student leaders don't want to leave institutions.
It's cold outside.
But it's cold.
It's cold, I must say. Oh, you know it,
Yeah, you know.
When it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Wait until tonight.
You see, I think I'm indirectly also affected by that, because I did apply for UNISA to do my honors, and I've seen UNISA students saying the communication is not good, and I was like, I'm not used to that. Now I'm used to knowing who I call. If I can't fix my ITS, I know who I call. So I said, nah, I'm no longer going to UNISA because I don't know anyone in UNISA. I'm going back home. VUT, to you, VUT is a university. To me, it's a home.
Yeah, indeed.
No, I think it's one last more question. I lost my train of thoughts, but the question just came back. So now, let me just take you back and manage your body. You were a student activist,
Yes.
So now, okay, you are moving more now, what can you change? What would you do, and whatsoever, right? So now, like Cotton said, and you did mention, I would say, even on the social list, but then, was it physical?
No, it was not.
Right? So now it's physical nowadays.
Yes.
So now I'm trying to see if maybe it's them being not fully informed about what they're doing, or it's just them being emotional rather than being rational.
Yeah, and I loved how KB started to. Nowadays, SRC members want to join SRC because they want to become famous, they want to become celebrities, they want to post about it on TikTok. So they know this title is going to change their lives on social media so much. They are even fighting about it. Because I wonder if you know how difficult it is to be an SRC member, if you are there to serve students, if you know you need to read policies, you need to be familiar with all the it's too much hard work. If they knew this information, they would not even be interested.
Contest.
Yes, during my time there was no TikTok during my time, but we had what we call comrade skippers. These people were comrades because they were always wearing regalia, but they will never attend meetings, they will never solve any problems. But today we have what we call digital comrades. This person is a comrade on TikTok. If Bayako striking, we shoot a video 30 seconds, and then they post, they trend. So I think one of the reasons they are fighting so much because they want that title. Automatically, when you have that title on the digital world, you can make it seem like it's real, like indeed you are a president, because you can take those short clips, but real life, you are useless, you know nothing. Groundwork, yes. So that's the reason why they're fighting. They lack information. That's They're fighting for title because this title is going to open doors for them on the digital world. If you say an SRC, desperate student will follow you because they are thinking that you'll assist them.
Give them something productive.
Yes.
The questions are hot and I want to close this time. We're running behind on time.
Yes.
I gave you chance, you did not ask. I've been asking.
Yeah, they're coming now.
So I want to know your opinion about the phasing out of naked.
Yes, I only had this and I was not happy about it. And then until I read the comments, because I posted about it and people started commenting. And on the comment they said, majority of people said, yes, they should phase it out because you are struggling to get internship. Remember, after completing your N6, you must get 1 year, 6 months in service. They said, someone said, I've been waiting for 4 years, for 5 years to get my in service. It's doing completely nothing for me. So if people who have N6 are saying it's doing nothing for them, then they should phase it out.
From our side, the NCVs, we are already doing 3 years now. After the 3 years, we had to go again to university or to those programs and another 3 years again. By that time, NSFAS stands only for 5 years now.
Yes.
So you see, it's already challenging.
Okay, with NCV, they're not phasing out
No,
NCV.
yeah, NCV it's not.
And remember, NCV, you go to NCV knowing very well that level 2 is equivalent to grade 10. You know they're going. One thing I love about a TVET college, that they're very honest, they're transparent.
informed,
So you go there knowing very well that you're doing grade 10 up to grade 12 and you're going to use your NSFAS and people enjoy it because they even get more money than the native student and then come university. Babanale problem. So if you know when you want to go to university, don't do NCV, go upgrade your marks, then go straight to university. So, but if you decide to go to NCV and then you go to university and then you run out of NSFAS bundles, that's completely your fault.
But they give, because when you look at high school and college,
yes, they do. Yes, they do. They do. NCV is more powerful.
Yeah,
yes.
more powerful because our pastor, we are related, I was struggling, but the person who was in college, they struggle, I related.
Exactly like me, I was struggling with mechanical drawing because I was coming from high school. But if I did NCV, I was not going to struggle. But now you have to choose between struggle and your NSFAS. You have to choose one.
Yeah, no. Can I close it?
So how is the problem now when you got an NCV, university? Maybe you can't buy touch and so on. How is it?
No, the problem is that your NSFAS bundles will quickly run out. Okay, let's say you go to NCV, you do NCV for 3 years. And then when you go to university, because now automatically you are changing your course. They call it a change of course. You automatically forfeit your N+1. It's you know
Something
N+1
like
is.
that.
It's just I don't want to get into details because I'll town more time. So when you go to university, let's say you're doing NCV, you're doing mechatronics level 4, and then from mechatronics you now come to VU2 to study BEd. Now that's a different course. You have changed your course, automatically you've lost N+1. NSFAS is only going to fund you for 1 year or for 2 years. If you are lucky, 1 year or 2 years, because you have used your NSFAS
N+ rule, yeah. You have exhausted your funds.
Yes, you have exhausted your funds.
I don't know, I'm closing you off. I'll have to.
No, let's give him.
So now if you have NCV for 3 years, right?
Yes.
Just maybe you figure like for a university, the course that I want to do, takes around about 5 years. So I'm not going to get paid I'm not going to get funded
For a year. For a year. For a year or 2, if you are lucky, it will be 2 years. The rest, you'll have to get yourself a private bursary.
And they are there, what GCRA? Yeah, they are there.
Yes, but GCRA, remember, is specifically for top 3 in each school. And if you are only from Gauteng province, specifically for learners who did the matric in Gauteng.
Is it?
Yes.
Sorry, just to jump in, because yesterday I was just scrolling around it. I've realized low now. I saw that top 3 learners, but no, se ba extendile their criteria. Ke bone lo nya go ya TVET ngwa tlo fund like yona.
It is all, yeah.
If I think you can check it out. Yesterday nigga zamo kenya application for someone, but I've saw no, it accepts everyone. It just fell in a paperwork ngata, but now I saw the top 3 fell. I think the top 3 an NCV student, because I found a little internships.
Yes, no, it has always been. GSRA has always been progressive, especially college, because I remember during my time when I went to GSRA, because they did call me for a bursary after I met in 2013 January. So when I got there, I was the only one who was going to university, and then there were more than 30 students, and all of them were going to TVET, and all of them, they got their contract except for me, because I was not admitted. So I know with TVET is a little bit easier. I don't know, And then, but every province has it. We've got Mpumalanga Bazari that works the same way. Limpopo Bazari. Students were using it. Got BEd, got VUT. We're using close to 6 bazaris. Yes.
Cotton, before I close it, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's been a long one. It's been a long one. But the viewers, this is Palesa Rose. 2 hours. 3 hours. But it's been 3 hours, I must say. But thank you, Sis Palesa, for coming. I must say it has been a fruitful conversation. Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting our invite. Our team is not here, but I know they will look at the EP and be like, no, it has been a fruitful one. But I want to comment, why did I miss this? Why did I miss this? But thank you for coming. In closure, is there anything that you'd like to say to your viewers, followers on TikTok?
Yes. Bana beso ke a leboha haholo ka ho kgolelwa ho nna mpane fela ke hloka ho utlwisisa hore na ke sebetse NSFAS bana beso hangata ke hlola ke bona di-comment tsa lona le re Palesa re batla tjhelete ya rona ha ke na tjhelete bana beso nna ke titjhere ke a thusa fela hobane ke na le tsebo hobane ne ke le SRC empane bana beso ha ke sebetse NSFAS ke leboha haholo ho ba commentang ba thusang ha motho a botsa potso e be le ga ke kgone araba ka nako eo ke hlola ke bona batho ba ba commenta mono ba thusa ke leboha haholo bana beso re sebetsa mnate re tshwarisane ho change setjhaba sa rona sa Afrika Borwa bana ba rona ba rute bana ba rona ba ye sekolong haholo setjhaba sa Rantsho University ya Samakwa fela le bona re teng mono no re teng NSFAS batho ha re tsentse tsena paitseng for bana ba rona ke leboha
wa film messenger ba tlo yela NSFAS fela sekolo mali ba le batho
ba ki motlelambe. That's one of the reasons I don't know much about appeals because back in the days NSFAS, as long as you pass 50% of your modules, NSFAS would fund you. So during that day, appeals were scarce. If it's appeal, you failed. So now I was not interested in assisting people who failed. I said, you are failing now, I'm busy. I was moving with others. TVET college high school pasa ntona yo pasa ka higher education ka di level 2 o tlo kwalla ka ntlo banjale ke competition aba tlotlela motho di level 4 ba nke wena ka level 2 ya maths lit ngwana ka nneta ka bona di tshwana di level 0 ya maths lit. It's not good.
Let's push hard.
I think level 5 level 4 level 5 let's work on that. Yes.
Allow me to close it, and as I've said that thank you Sis Palesa for coming. In closure, Reina, as the Potential League Up podcast, we want to say to you that thank you for coming. Please continue to accept our invites. Perhaps this time around when we send an invite, we will be going somewhere. After more, we'll just have a nice day after the EP recording. Other than that, it will be a party or maybe this time around we'll be sending you an invite. We have organized big programs. I think that can be a story for another day, but that is what we are working on from now on going forward. The audience on the floor so we can get questions. So we know on that day we are investing nothing but our time to everyone who want to learn, bring those who want to bring on, but then we can run. If we can get all orange pharmacy booking, organize that audience, then we'll be fine.
That's what they love vibes.
So in closure, I must say, Cotton Mizi, we have this thing that we call Ashina Mamaiki. In closure. Thank you, Sis Palesa, for coming. Thank you for coming.